Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Imagine this. Imagine you have a perfect idea to build your product. You even have all the resources in the world to build that. But what you don't have is the system. How would you do that? It might be difficult, isn't it? So, what prompted me to this topic is a conversation I recently had with Senior Razulov, our guest for our podcast today. And more if you're listening to this, please forgive me. I will get your name right. It's better next time. My name is Avva Thach, and I am your host, iAvva Innovate with Authenticity. So, Samir and I, we talk about many important topics from therapy to coaching to AI to uh, focus. So you're going to enjoy it. Please check uh, out the podcast. Seymour is obviously a really smart human being, but he's also a very compassionate person. And with Seymour, you can really expect kind but also honest answer from him. So you're going to enjoy the conversation very much. Before going into that podcast, I want to share with you one point that we talk about, and that is the process. So in digital transformation, we often talk about goals, and in product management too, right? Like the first thing was we set the goals, we talk about our personas, target audience, we think about how what they are pain points, how we're going to break it down, how we prioritize this pain point, and then we bring into the theme, the future, the epic, the future, the story, so on and so forth, and we create some kind of measurements for that. But having a system in place will ultimately really help you and your teams to deliver that goals. And I can even press it further. It's not just the goal, but also think in terms of vision. What that emotion, what is the vision behind those goals? And let me tell you an example, right? So actually, I'm going to tell you a few examples. The first thing you think about achievement using system, uh, achieve great deal using system, you can think about Bill Walsh. If you don't know him, like he was a very influential person in the business world, and you probably knew him through NFL. He was a legendary NFL football coach for the San Francisco 49ers teams, and he brought they brought back victories, and he coached them to bring back victories after victories. And he was known for his competitiveness, but at the same time, he was also known for his compassionate leadership. And the idea behind this with Bill was that he just said, forget about the goals. Let's just create the systems. How do we practice every day? How do we bring in that system so that ultimately we hit that goals? And they did. They brought home a lot of victories. Another example I can relate to you is recently I um, work on an AI product integration uh, with one of the with CEO of one of the health company. And in our team, we have a product manager, me as a business coach, and the CEO. So we we have our goals. We want to integrate AI. We wanted to increase profit. We want to improve efficiency. We want to get time back for the care manager, and all of this great. All of these are wonderful goals. But as a business coach, I listened and we talk about our vision. What is really the vision behind it? And through coaching and through conversation, we're really getting access to what the goal is. And really, we all realize that the goal is really to improve chronic patient health and keep them at home longer and help them to live a more manageable, happier, and healthier life. And based on that vision, then we creating a system. I just tell my team, look, we gotta meet once a week. We're going to have every time we meet. Like for me, I was just thinking about how are we gonna get 1% closer in terms of improving our system. So from the way we talk to one another, from the way we listen to one another, how do we argue, but in a way that we move things forward? And how do we discuss things so that we could really uncover what's important? We ask questions and many, many questions. I love to ask questions, and the best way to ask good questions is to ask many questions. So as a result, we actually won ranked number one by one of the VC in our final pitch. Uh, and there were two cohort together. There was 15 projects, and these are amazing, smart product leaders from all over the country, right? And we were ranked number one by Flagship Pioneering. So the thing is, I didn't even think about the goals. I was only thinking about how do we work better to one another with one another? How do we really hone in what's important and bringing that compassion not just for our target audience for the chronic patient, but also compassion for ourselves because we're not perfect. And while we're creating the system, we don't have a perfect system from the start, but we build it, we developed it, and we also get to know each other along the way. So this has happened a lot in digital transformation. As you can see, when you're leading a digital transformation, you have goals, right? But do your team, do your um, managers know about those goals? How do you break it down for them? So having a business coach is so important because, especially an experienced business coach, because they're going to bring in not just product management experience, coaching experience, um, process improvement experience, but also that compassionate, that really deep listening skill set that really help you to access your vision and really help your team and yourself to be accountable for those vision. Another example, if you think about people in the business world, like women in the business world, like Indra Nooyi, she's the CEO of PepsiCo, and she's very adamant about um, leadership, and she helped the company to transform companies successful through digital um, innovation. And her vision was not just about improve revenue, but it's really about creating the win-win. How do we create a sustainable world? How do we bring in motivation to help the team to be more healthier and then how customers to be healthier. And based on that, she's really um, proving that concept that you can really create profit, but also having a purposeful goal. One more example I want to leave you with is Yousaf Yousafzai. I hope I pronounced her name correctly, but she is a young girl, young activist, uh, young female activist. And she started out, and she had this burning vision, a desire to to help girls in Pakistan to be educated under the Taliban regime, and even under a lot of threat and violence, she actually did it. And she ultimately won the Nobel Peace Prize, but it wasn't the goal to start with. It was the vision uh, of how to really help girls to have that equal opportunities as boys and go to schools. And she went to great length. It's a great story. You should watch it, but that's how we do it. It's a very similar way, right? Like we start out small, like just like in digital transformation, we start out small, we create grassroots, but with that passion, with that unwavering vision, that motivation inside that you can really uh, drive the team and inspire the team. And having a business coach can really help to partner with you to keep the team motivated. So that's a conversation for now. Now let's look for the conversation with some more Razulov, he is not just a successful serial founders who really bring that mindset of how do we bring ideas into actionable into results, and he's very much talking about the system. He's also a very dedicated parent, like I mentioned, and he's very compassionate. So you're going to enjoy the conversation very much. Well, thank you very much for listening, and see you soon.